Hello and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, it is nice to meet you. My name is Brittany Morris. I am working on becoming more self-sustaining and being able to make more from scratch. And I just do what I can at this point. I don't have access to a garden or able to get chickens at this point. So instead of having to learn from A to Z, when I do have that available to me, I am learning what I can now so I can jump in with more skills when we get our property. And today, one of my favorite easy lunches for myself is egg drop soup. And I make the egg drop soup specifically for just the one serving of lunch. So I am going to walk you through how I do it. I'm not saying that this is a true egg drop soup or anything like traditional. This is just how I make it and how I like it. And it's really easy cleanup. It's only, my spoon, my bowl, and the pot that I cooked it in. So I hope you enjoy, and I will see you at the end.
Alright, this is a simple one. You're going to need your bowl that you want to eat out of and a pot. I'm going to use my homemade chicken stock for this one, but there's a lot of flexibility here. I'm going to fill most of the way with my bowl how much I want to eat with this chicken stock. This is for measurement. Make sure you leave some space because we're going to have to add a little bit more in order to thicken it up with cornstarch later. And then we're going to add that to our pan and we're going to get started on heating this up. While it's heating, I'm going to get the cornstarch going. Next time I will use the same stock for this part, not water. I just liked it more when there is more flavor instead of there being water. So add a little bit of cornstarch to this. And it really depends on how thick you want it. The more cornstarch there is, the thicker it's going to be. But don't add too much because then you will definitely start to taste it. And stir this up real good and put it aside and wait for the stock to start boiling. I'm going to start adding some of my flavors. I'm going to add some sesame seed oil, and some black pepper. If you are making this with your own stock and there's no added sugar or no added salt, sorry, make sure to add a little bit more salt because the soy sauce alone isn't quite enough. Then some onion powder. And this is all preference. So have fun and test things out. This is some garlic powder. And I'm just going to keep waiting for it to boil. Alright, now that our cornstarch and stock mixture is heating again, I like to use 2 eggs because I like a little bit more. but you can use one also. It is up to your preference. So I'm adding the 2 eggs to the same bowl that I was using before, and I'm going to beat these and get them ready to add to my soup. Once the soup is boiling again, I'm going to add them, slowly pouring the egg mixture into the broth, and make sure to only stir in one direction. I like to add some soy sauce. Make sure you don't add too much salt before this so that it doesn't end up super salty. And that is it. A very quick and easy lunch that I like to make for myself. I'm just going to pour it still hot into the bowl so that the egg that's in the bowl will cook up and it's ready to eat.
And that was it. You can add more vegetables and you can add things that you want. It is a pretty open recipe. You just make sure that you're cooking long enough if you're adding any vegetables. I used my homemade chicken stock, but you can use water with some bouillon. You can use chicken broth from the store, whatever you have on hand. Just make sure it's something flavored, not just water, because that's where a lot of the flavor comes from. I did end up needing to add a little bit more salt to mine because I did have my homemade stock and there was no salt in it, so it needed a little bit more at the end. But most of the store-bought stocks or the bouillon is not going to need additional salt other than just a little bit of that soy sauce. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and catch my next video. Goodbye.